Picture this. It's 2 a.m. Your backyard. The motion sensor light flickers on. And standing at the tree line, eyes glowing amber in the dark, is something wild, something ancient. A wolf. Your German Shepherd is already up, hair raised, body rigid, a low growl vibrating in its chest. For thousands of years, these two animals shared the same blood, the same bone, the same hunger. But one was forged by nature. One was shaped by man. So tonight, we settle it. German Shepherd versus wolf. Strength, speed, bite force, intelligence, raw survival instinct. Who walks away? Stay with us, because what you're about to find out might change everything you thought you knew about man's best friend. But before we begin, we are Meme Dogs TV. Subscribe, and let's begin. Let's go back, way back. 15,000 years ago, wolves ruled every continent. Not the cuddly, misunderstood creatures people argue about online. Real wolves, apex predators, built to dominate. And somewhere along the way, we humans did something extraordinary. We took those wolves and we changed them. Over thousands of years of selective breeding, we created the German Shepherd, one of the most intelligent, versatile, and loyal dogs ever to walk the earth. First developed in Germany in the late 1800s by Captain Max von Stephanitz, the German Shepherd was engineered to be the ultimate working dog. Herding, protection, military, police, search and rescue. But here's the thing most people forget. That engineering came at a cost. Because while the German Shepherd was being refined, domesticated, softened for human partnership, the wolf never stopped evolving. Wild, unfiltered, merciless. So when we strip everything back, when we remove the training collars and the kibble and the loyalty, what's left? That's what we're here to find out. Size comparison. Let's talk size, because size matters in a fight. Always. A German Shepherd stands roughly 24 to 26 inches at the shoulder, weighs in between 50 and 90 pounds. Impressive? Absolutely. Now, meet the wolf. A gray wolf, the most common species, stands 26 to 32 inches tall, weighs anywhere from 80 to 150 pounds. And in regions like Yellowstone or the Russian wilderness, some have tipped the scales at 175 pounds. That's not a dog. That's a weapon. The wolf's frame is built differently too. Longer legs for covering ground, a deeper chest cavity for endurance, shoulders set wider for power transfer, paws almost twice the size of a German Shepherd's. And those paws aren't for show. They're built for crushing snow, gripping terrain, and pinning prey. But here's the scary part. The wolf's skeleton is like a loaded spring. Every single part of it is optimized for one thing: killing. Still think it's just a bigger dog? We haven't even gotten to the bite yet. Bite force? This is where things get real. A German Shepherd has one of the strongest bites in the dog world, around 238 to 291 psi, pounds per square inch. That's enough to crush bone, enough to break a human arm, enough to make trained criminals surrender. Formidable, terrifying even. But a wolf? A gray wolf bites at 400 psi. Some large specimens have been measured at up to 1,200 newtons of force. To put that in perspective, a wolf can crush the femur of an elk in a single bite. A femur, the strongest bone in the body. The German Shepherd's jaw is built for gripping, controlling, holding on. It's trained to bite and not let go. The wolf's jaw is built to end things immediately. There's a difference between a dog trained to bite and an animal evolved for 15,000 years to kill at the source. And here's what that means in a real encounter. A German Shepherd goes for the grip, hold, control. A wolf goes for the throat. But wait, before you crown the wolf, you need to see what happens when we talk about speed. Because this changes the math entirely.
Speed and agility. The German Shepherd can hit 30 miles per hour in full sprint. For a domesticated animal, that is extraordinary. Watch a trained shepherd chase a suspect, and you'll understand why law enforcement relies on them. The acceleration is violent. The cornering is tight. The stamina is relentless. But a wolf runs at 35 to 38 miles per hour, sustained, for miles. Not in short bursts, for miles. Wolves have been tracked covering 30 to 40 miles in a single day. Their cardiovascular systems are in a different league, built for the long hunt, for exhausting prey until it surrenders to inevitability. And agility? The wolf moves like it owns every terrain on Earth. Rocky mountain passes, deep snow, dense forest, open plains. The German Shepherd is athletic. The wolf is fluid. But here's where it gets interesting. Because in a direct confrontation, a confined space, a single moment of impact, raw sprint speed matters less than you'd think. What matters is reaction time, spatial awareness, decision-making under stress. In other words, intelligence. And this is the category where the story takes a shocking turn.
Intelligence. Here's what most people get wrong about this comparison. They assume the wolf is smarter, more primal, more calculating. They're wrong. German Shepherds consistently rank among the top 3 most intelligent dog breeds on Earth. They can learn over 250 words and commands. They understand context. They read human emotion with uncanny precision. They problem solve under pressure in ways that genuinely stun researchers. Police, military, bomb disposal, disability assistance, search and rescue in avalanche conditions. The German Shepherd's brain is a finely tuned instrument. But here's the nuance, and it's important. Wolf intelligence is different in kind, not just degree. Wolves don't follow commands. They don't respond to human cues the way dogs do. In fact, studies from the Wolf Science Center in Austria found that wolves outperform dogs at independent problem-solving tasks. Put a German Shepherd in front of a puzzle box, they look to their owner for guidance. Put a wolf in front of the same box, they figure it out themselves. The shepherd is brilliant within a system. The wolf is brilliant without one. And in the wild, without a system, without a handler, without commands, that independence is everything. But intelligence alone doesn't win fights. Because next, we need to talk about something primal, something that runs deeper than any IQ score. Hunting instinct. And what happened when scientists actually tested this shocked experts. Hunting instinct. A German Shepherd has prey drive. Strong prey drive, in fact. It's one of the traits that makes them exceptional police and military dogs. They chase, they pursue, they bite with intention. But domestication, thousands of years of it, has interrupted the hunting sequence. Wolves don't just have prey drive, they have a complete, unbroken killing sequence. Eye, stalk, chase, grab bite, kill bite. Every single step intact. Every single step hardwired. Domestic dogs, even the most driven ones, have had parts of that sequence deliberately bred out. We needed dogs that chase, but don't always kill, that grip, but take direction. Wolves take no direction from anyone. A pack of wolves coordinating a hunt functions with the precision of a military unit, without a single spoken command. They read each other's body language, anticipate movements, cut off escape routes. One wolf flanks, one wolf drives, one wolf goes for the hamstring. And here's the terrifying part about that. A German Shepherd in a confrontation is operating as an individual. A wolf is almost never alone. Where there's one wolf, there's almost always more. But let's set the pack aside for a moment and ask a different question. What about loyalty? What about the German Shepherd's willingness to fight, not for survival, but for you? Because this changes everything.
Loyalty versus survival instinct. This is the chapter that hits different. A wolf fights for one reason: survival. For food, for territory, for the pack. Cold, logical, efficient. A German Shepherd? A German Shepherd fights for you. There are documented cases, real cases, of German Shepherds taking on animals far beyond their weight class. Bears, mountain lions, groups of attackers. Not because their biology told them to, because their loyalty overrides self-preservation. Apollo, a German Shepherd police dog in New York, was shot in the line of duty and returned to work the next day. Buddy, a shepherd in Alaska, led rescuers through miles of wilderness to reach his owner trapped in a burning building. There's a fire in a German Shepherd that no wolf can replicate, because the wolf is fighting for itself. The shepherd is fighting for something beyond itself. And in combat psychology, in human warfare, in every martial tradition in history, that kind of motivation is considered the most dangerous kind. Soldiers who fight for something they love are more dangerous than soldiers who fight for their own survival. Now, drop that loyalty into a real-world encounter with a wolf. Let's talk about what actually happens.
Real-world encounter. There are real accounts of German Shepherds encountering wolves. In Eastern Europe, where wolf populations overlap with farming communities, livestock guardian dogs, many of them shepherd types, regularly encounter lone wolves. The results are mixed. A lone wolf will often disengage from a healthy, aggressive dog. The risk-reward calculation doesn't favor the wolf. An injury in the wild can mean starvation. But a wolf at full aggression, provoked, territorial, or hunting, is a different animal. Reports from wildlife management teams in Idaho and Montana describe encounters where large wolves approach domestic dogs with what researchers call predatory intent, moving low, direct, without hesitation. Dogs that held their ground sometimes survived. Dogs that broke and ran almost never did. Because the moment you flee from a wolf, something ancient activates in them. The chase sequence begins. And here's the cold statistical truth. In documented confrontations between a lone wolf and a lone dog of similar size, wolves win the majority of encounters. Not because of strength alone, because of experience. The wolf has faced death before, has dealt it before, has no hesitation. Most German Shepherds, even the most trained ones, have never faced an opponent that actually wants to kill them. That gap in experience is brutal. But we still haven't run the scenario everyone came here for. The final showdown. One-on-one. No pack, no handler. German Shepherd versus wolf. Let's run it. Here's the scenario. Open field. Neutral territory. One adult male German Shepherd. 85 pounds, trained, healthy, peak condition. Versus one adult gray wolf, 120 pounds, wild-born, experienced hunter. No pack, no handler, no escape. The wolf circles. It doesn't charge immediately. Wolves are patient hunters. They're reading the shepherd, looking for weakness, calculating. The German shepherd does what it's trained to do. It holds its ground, hackles raised, direct eye contact, barking to warn, to assert. The wolf is unbothered. The wolf feints. The shepherd reacts. And this is where it happens. In that reaction, the wolf reads the shepherd's timing, its recovery speed, its commitment. When the wolf commits, it's not a charge, it's a launch. 400 psi of jaw pressure aimed at the back of the neck. The shepherd has one move: turn into it and grip. Go for the throat in return. And this is where the German shepherd's courage becomes its most dangerous asset. It doesn't run. It fights. In this scenario, objectively, statistically, biologically, the wolf wins. Size, bite force, combat experience, pure predatory design. On paper, the wolf wins. But here's the verdict that actually matters. I've been doing this research for weeks, reading wildlife reports, studying animal behavior, watching hours of footage. And every single expert says the same thing. A German shepherd in defense of its owner is one of the most dangerous animals on earth. Because it doesn't stop. Because it doesn't calculate. Because it would die for you. And it knows that. And it still doesn't hesitate.
So who wins? Wolf wins the fight. German shepherd wins everything else. So, Team Wolf or Team Shepherd? Drop it in the comments right now. I genuinely want to know. And if you learned something today, if this changed the way you see either of these incredible animals, hit that like button. It takes 1 second and it means the world. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this. Every week we go somewhere wild, and I mean that literally. And I'll leave you with this. There's a German shepherd out there tonight, curled up at the foot of someone's bed, one ear still listening. Descended from wolves, shaped by love, ready to die for a human it met 3 years ago. That's not just an animal. That's something almost holy. I'll see you in the next one.